For over 19 years, your eyes and ears on horse racing has been Tommy Walski's, the Sport of King. On today's show, we'll meet the man behind the leading stable at Hastings. Our race of the week is the Set It Appointee. Tommy recaps some of the major stakes in racing across the nation. Virginia gets you caught up on all the news. We'll hit the archives in case you missed it. Our salute to the champions remembers one of racing's equine heroes. And out here he is, BC's ambassador to the world of horse racing, Mr. Tommy Walski.
On our first segment, we're going to pay a visit with longtime horse owner here at Hastings Racecourse, Glen Todd, and see how he not only operates his successful racing stable, but what is going on behind the horse racing management committee that he's deeply involved with, and that is a major factor when it comes to horse racing here in this province. First of all, we want to find out from Glen, what's it like winning all those races?
It's a big thrill to win a race. I mean, I tell people that it's like, it's a big experience. It's $5,000 or $100,000 stake. The thrill is still there. You know, I think we manage our horses really well. We run them where they can win, and it makes a big difference.
You use a beautiful facility just outside of Seattle, Pegasus.
Obviously, it gives us an edge because we're training when other people can't, right? We start in January, so our horses are, you know, ready to run when we open. It's probably the most beautiful facility I've ever seen. It's got everything. You can train, you can swim, you can go on a treadmill, you can train on a track. You know, it gives you so much versatility to get a horse to the races. Yeah, we call it the spa, right? We'll call the spa and see how many we got ready to come up. And we had about 50 horses there over the winter.
Where do you go get your horses?
We make a big deal out of BC sale. Chaff, it's like a 3-day holiday vacation where we have a lot of fun. We spend a lot of time going over the horses, looking at them. Troy Taylor has a great eye for a horse, right? He really does. And the 3-year-olds we got this year are the 3 best ones we got all came out of the BC sale, actually. We bought 7 yearlings in Kentucky last year, and one of them is Mr. Instigator's already. He won the first 2-year-old race here. But we've had good success. We've bought a stakes winner in every BC sales.
We were here a couple of years ago. How's it gone since?
We have our good days and our bad days, right? Good race days, you can't get in here. I can sit here and play horses, watch my horses run, California or whatever, and it's a fun place. It's a great place. You know, it's first cabin, the whole place, and we have some steady customers and big players, and that helps.
You put out a newsletter. It's the talk of the industry right now.
Well, I'll tell you, this morning I started at 3 o'clock, right? I mean, I guess my dad told me I could sleep a lot when I was dead, so, and I mean, I think it's been instilled in me. I only need 3-4 hours sleep and I can go full tilt. And I still do. I don't know why. I still get up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning automatically. I just wake up and I get up and I'm ready to go. But it took me until 6:30, so I spent 3.5 hours this morning, but there was quite a bit to discuss, and you know, I wish I had more time to spend on it. Like 3.5 hours of my day is too much, but somebody had to do something for the industry. Somebody had to let people know what was going on in the industry. So I try to keep the people, the owners, informed of the trainers of what's going on in the industry as much as I can, or as much as my time will. Or some days when I'm in a hurry and I got to get to a real meeting, then I read it when I get home. But did I really write that? But anyways, it's I try my best to get it out early, and I've had hundreds of compliments.
You're part of a committee. Can you explain what this committee is all about?
Well, the government of British Columbia, that's in power, felt that the industry was not operating at the best of its, or the best it could, and there was a lot of infighting, and so and they have a big investment in horse racing. There's 7,000 employees in the industry in British Columbia between the standardbreds and the thoroughbreds, which meant a lot of people. The business, obviously, we don't have to be very smart, was digressing rapidly throughout North America, just not here in British Columbia. And the minister in power of horse racing wanted to try to see if he could get some people together that might be able to revitalize the industry in our province and protect those 7,000 jobs. We thought there was about $50 million, to dole out to either the industry or to the operator and the splits, etc. And we started off using the 2009 numbers, thinking, 2009 is going to be the worst we could do, and with the economy and recession and things would come back a little bit. We couldn't do much worse in 2010 than we did in 2009. Well, we're already $6 million. We're running on a budget now that's based on $6 million behind 2009. It's taken us till June, which we are now, to sort of stabilize things, and it's been a big learning curve for a lot of people. But we haven't gone over budgets, and we haven't overspent what we have to spend. That's why we've had to make some drastic changes in the last 30 days to make sure that we were going to have enough money come December 31st. We're working on a calendar year that we could meet all of the allotments and allocations that we gave the industry. And I think right now I think we're okay, unless things fall off more. A lot of people want to blame the weather, and our on track is off, no doubt about it. But our on track isn't our biggest problem. The whole industry is down about 15% across the country. California racing is really, we had a lot of money coming in from California. We had a lot of off track, through our simulcast system, and it's seriously down. I mean, it isn't raining sitting here in the Derby Bar and Grill where you can bet, right? I mean, it's not raining in the Boulevard Casino where you can bet, or at Santa Anita or Hollywood Park. It's not raining. So weather somewhat, yes, but California's really hurt us.
Glenn, there was a deal with the lottery. Supposedly, we read about the lottery coming on board. We haven't seen anything yet.
BCLC is really a government-run organization. So until all the paperwork was in place of the committee, lotteries weren't able to act. And I know as of today, they're meeting with Hastings with some new innovative ideas, and lotteries is getting on board as of today.
What do you see for the sport in this province?
I don't have a crystal ball. I can't pull rabbits out of hats. We just have to all get together and stick together. We need to educate the younger person and bring them up like you and I have. I mean, we were young guys when we first met, right? And I know you were a jockey and I wasn't, but thank goodness for that. But we need to get younger people educated, so there is a future.
Don't go away. The Sport of Kings. We'll be right back. Racing across the nation, where we follow all the top stakes races throughout North America. Racing Across the Nation is brought to you in memory of Jeff Robinson, owner and breeder at Erin Acres.
Today on our Racing Across the Nation part of the program, first up we take it to Woodbine Racetrack. If you're looking at the $500,000 Woodbine Oaks, it brings together a filly called Throne Inish. She's owned by Vancouver businessman Bob Costigan, also trained by his daughter Caroline. Great race, great finish. Enjoy it.
Throne Inish is drafting in behind fillies. Oil Paintings out there about 4 wide and just 2 lengths off the lead. And Earnful begins her charge toward the leaders, and Moment of Majesty's making a bid. A tight group of 3-year-old fillies with a quarter of a mile to go in the Woodbine Oaks. And it's Ember's Song who's called on for more, run by Garrett Gomez. Ember's Song is open to 2.5. Throne Inish. Resentless has faded. Moment of Majesty is coming hard for Robert Landry down the center of the racetrack. Here comes Moment of Majesty. Throne Inish between horses. Down to the inside, Ember's Song. What a finish. This is going to be close. Throne Inish on the inside. Throne Inish and David Moran to win Majesty and Ember Song, Oil Painting was fourth.
Now, if that name Roan Innes sounded familiar, it's because in 2002, the Strawberry Moth was won by her mother, Innes Glora, also owned by Bob Costigan, also went on to become Canadian Horse of the Year.
It's Innes Glora to win the Strawberry Moth.
Next up, we take it on I-5 to Hollywood Park Racetrack. You are going to be watching the $250,000 Vanity Stakes. It brings together, guess who? The unbeaten mare, Zenyatta, as she goes for win number 17. Great race, and you will not think she gets up there in time.
They're off. Willow Way wins the break and goes for the front. Miss Silverbrook is very hard sent through from the inside. Cherry Blossom Miss just ran up into second. Zardana is away fourth. St. Trinian's breaks fifth, and Zenyatta's at the back of the pack early. Right now she's about 10 lengths behind, dueling front runners to the backstretch, and they're setting a good, solid pace. Meanwhile, Mike Smith is watching it all unfold, and Zenyatta is only 2 lengths behind, and she is after St. Trinian's, who comes calling for the lead. Zardana just in front. St. Trinian's has now taken the lead. She's a length and a half in front of Zenyatta, coming to the 16th pole. St. Trinian's all out. Zenyatta trying to run her down on the money. St. Trinian's still a neck in front. Here's Zenyatta. Yes!
And now to get you up to date with what's happening in and around the track, let's saddle up with our own Virginia Tulloch.
Mark your calendar for July 1st as Canada Day kicks off another great weekend of racing with 3 major stakes, including the Lieutenant Governor's Stakes race. Now, we can't say for sure, but there's a really good chance that stakes champions Almost Time and Tidy will be competing once again for victory. The ever-popular free movie night returns to Hastings with its next showtime set for June 25th at 10 p.m. It's going to be a flashback to the 80s with feature films The Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So make sure to grab your thermos and a blanket and come out for a fun-filled night under the stars. Today is a very special day here at Hastings Racecourse, and we would like to encourage everyone to come out and support this fundraiser for recovering jockey April Friesen. Proceeds of the silent auction and 50-50 draw will go towards helping April get back on the road to recovery. After seeing the Battle of Hastings in Hollywood Park, and then again here at Hastings in the same week, we had just one question on our minds. How is this possible? To answer that question, we spoke to Director of Racing, Paul Reinfeld.
Well, the horse Battle of Hastings that races here is a British Columbia bred, so foaled in British Columbia. Battle of Hastings that races down in Southern California, that horse was actually foaled in Great Britain, and as a result was registered in Great Britain under the same name. And when you look at the racing form for that horse while it races in California, it has a GB behind it to denote that it is a Great Britain bred racehorse.
That's all the news for today. From Trackside, I'm Virginia Tulloch, and now you're back on track.
Now here's the part of the show we simply call In Case You Miss It. It's a chance for you to look back at the magic and the mystery of horse racing here in British Columbia from the Sport of Kings perspective. In case you missed it. Today on our In Case You Missed It part of the program, we continue to look back at some of your favorite BC breds who raced here at Hastings or Exhibition Park, and once again, they were your favorites. Today we're going to be looking at John Franks' legendary Delta Colleen. This is Delta Colleen's story in case you missed it. Enjoy, as she is one of your favorites.
On the outside, 100's cheered. Down the lane they come, 100's cheered. Here comes Delta Colleen on the outside. It's now Delta Colleen, 100's cheered. Delta Colleen.
Well, Delta Colleen has provided me with some of my greatest moments in the industry. I mean, some of my fondest memories are riding her. As far as thrills, Delta Colleen's given me more thrills than any other horse I've ever ridden. But her whole 3-year-old year was a great campaign. I think she wins 6 or 7 stake races that year, and she just was a real thrill to ride. And she's continued to provide me with great thrills ever since. Right now she's 7, and her last race was probably as thrilling a race as I was probably as